Boom. Tommy says, let's rock and roll. Okay. So, Carmody and Torrance, LLP. I have Mark Williams. Mark, thank you so much for your time, first of all. My dedicated listeners are excited that we have basically the healthcare PPACA advocate, guru, attorney on the phone. Give yourself a plug Carmody and Torrance, and then you and I are going to go right into the exciting stuff.
Oh, thank you, Mike. It's an honor to be on your show and have a chance to talk with your listeners. I'm a member of a labor and employment team here at Carmody and Torrance, and we have recently been doing a lot of work for our clients on how the Affordable Care Act affects them and their small businesses. And, in fact, we're holding a seminar in August for our clients on how all these changes are affecting them.
All right,
Mike, I don't know if you,
hold on.
I don't know if you...
Let's plug that because I'm registered. Where is the August 8th seminar?
It's for our clients, and I think it's at the Courtyard by Marriott right here in downtown Waterbury.
Okay, so it's for your clients only.
Yeah, this one is the client only. We've done some seminars with the Waterbury Chamber, right. and we may be doing more, but nothing's scheduled right now.
Okay. So for the clients that are lucky enough to have Carmody and Torrance as their labor law firm, go to the, what time does it start?
I think it's 8 a.m.
Oh, sharp, business time.
August
right.
8th.
Okay, so take it away. You and I spoke this morning in rehearsal, but definitely inform my listeners. They actually aren't paying as much attention as I wish. I've had some employers say, I'm not even going to do anything. I'm like, are you kidding me? So go ahead. Explain what the Supreme Court, and I don't even know how they did it without some kind of vote on this, but on Friday, last Friday, they so conveniently did what?
Well, a couple things have happened. Mike, did you see yesterday's Republican American?
Of course.
Article on the Affordable Care Act?
I did.
I noticed they put in a survey from the Kaiser Foundation, and when I analyzed the survey, it showed that 19% of Americans, according to their survey, still believe ACA has been overturned or repealed.
Yeah. You can ask Judge Roberts if that's true, right?
Yeah. So just to clarify for your listeners, the law remains in effect. What happened last week, while I took a few days off, was the Treasury Department, which is the group which houses the IRS.
Sure.
They announced some delays in parts of ACA. But again, what I want to drive home is the Affordable Care Act remains in effect. By way of background, employers with 50 or more employees in 2014 were supposed to be offering affordable health coverage to all their full-time employees. If they didn't, they were going to owe a penalty, which again was going to be effective in 2014.
Right.
What has happened is the IRS is delaying the penalty until 2015. So that's what's been in the headlines, at least in the kind of papers that and blogs that I read, is that delay in this penalty until 2015. But as you and I talked about, what has not been delayed is the individual mandate, which is the cornerstone of this law.
Right.
In other words, I don't know if you want to elaborate on that for a minute, Mike.
I'll talk as an agent, and then you talk as someone way smarter than I am. Okay, So if you're not lucky enough to have me as your agent and you've got insurance, you still must, and please don't ignore this. And if you're not listening, call one of your buddies and tell them to put the radio on because this is important. You must file. It's on the Department of Labor website, and then Mark will tell you exactly how to get there. But if your agent didn't get you this, at least by September 1st, you are in trouble. I'm actually taking a proactive approach. Chris and Jean and I are going to roll out to every employer this week in the mail, and then starting August 1st, I'm going out face-to-face. You must inform your employees by October 1st, 2013, that there is an exchange. If you do not inform them of the exchange, it's $100 per day per employee fine. All right? So what the form basically says is, yes, I've been informed by my employer. They offer employer-sponsored group insurance, which is better or equal to 60% of the bronze plan. So you simply sign off that you've been informed of the exchange. There will be tax incentives on the exchange, but only for the people that have really stinky insurance through their employer. Most of the employer-sponsored health insurance will remain at least until 2014 December in place. Not every employer is just going to drop their insurance. But you as the HR people or the owner must inform your employees by October 1st, 2013, that there is a marketplace, which is called Access Health CT. And the reason you must inform them is there has to be some accountability of the due diligence. Due diligence is, yes, you just caught a pass for you 50 or more people, that there'll be no $3,000 fine per employee if you don't offer it to them until 1/1/15, which so conveniently, and it's actually a known thing that you drop changes in the news on extremely busy time. July 4th weekend, Friday afternoon, which I must admit, Mark, I was off as well. I took a small vacation. So it was just a perfect time for the Treasury Department, which is under a little scrutiny in case you haven't been noticing. I guess they came down pretty heavy on the Tea Party, and there are bigwigs at the IRS that are saying, yes, we actually are guilty, which I like the honest admission on their part. So the Affordable Care Act, PPACA, Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act, we must call it that. You want to walk the people how to get it through like you did with me on the phone? You go to the www.departmentoflabor, DOL.
Yeah. This notice that Mike is talking about that is required to be given by employers to your full and part-time employees
right.
by this October 1st is available on the federal DOL website, which I usually find by just Googling or binging DOL EBSA, Employee Benefits Security Administration.
And I have the official one here. It's www.dol.gov/EBSA. So it'll take you right to it. Mark walked me through it in 2 seconds this morning at like 8:05 or 8:30, whatever. We were early risers today. But he calls me back. He's like, hey, good morning. And I said, look, I'd love for you to be a guest because Medicare and You is about health care. I'll do my senior part after I get Mark off the phone at 1:38. But this is big-time important news. The Department of Labor is requiring that this form, you simply click on the form like Mark showed me. It's called a model notice. There's one for employers that offer insurance, and there's one for a model notice for employees who do not offer the health plan. If you don't offer the health plan, those employees are eligible to go to Access Health CT as of October 1st, search for a plan, and purchase one through the exchange as of January 1st, 2014. Hopefully the people in Hartford are listening. I would love for G.S. Regan Associates to be an enrollment center. I speak Spanish. I'm working on my Albanian, which is actually quite hard. I speak English a little bit still. I'm only joking. But the key is not everyone is going to be so savvy with the paperwork that it's just going to be a click away, like buying a bus ticket or a Metro card for the subway train. There will be qualifying things that you'll need to know. So I spoke to Phil Boyle at the exchange, and he's open to the idea of having it be an enrollment center. And
that's great, Michael.
I will actually use Carmody and Torrance, I'm saying that very faithfully now, as the labor law firm. So if the employers, which they work for the employer, are disgruntled over this and they're going to find themselves fined for no reason because there was someone that didn't do their due diligence, Mark Williams and I are going to team up where I'm going to have a trifold in my package for next week that I'm mailing this out, or just a card for you, Mark, if you want. But I'm going to recommend that at least get consulted with legal counsel, because the word legal counsel is not what I am. I'm not an attorney, and I am not at liberty to discuss what the legal ramifications are. All I can do, and I told somebody this on the phone yesterday, I enroll you, I shop your rates around, I make a 2% commission, and I can't sue somebody. So a lot of employers are going to find themselves hoping this is going to go away, and it's not going away. It's clearly here to stay. And the only thing that has been delayed is the over 50 mandate. It will still be a requirement on you, the employer's part, to inform them of the exchange. That's correct, Mark?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, so you roll with it on the legal side now.
Yes. This notice requirement, which is due by October 1st to all your employees, has both a Part A general information that tells people about the exchange and about the marketplace, which, as Michael already noted, is called Access Health Connecticut, and which is also available online.
Right.
But then there's a Part B, which if you are an employer, you need to fill in some information about your plan.
Employer's name, employer address, city. Who can we contact about employer health coverage at the job, phone number, email address, and there's a few qualifying questions.
Yes, exactly. So it's not even though it's a downloadable form from the DOL website, it looks like the form needs to be customized for each employer before it's handed out to your employees.
Right. That's what I was trying to explain this morning. The carriers aren't getting this to us.
Yeah, interesting you mentioned that. It's a requirement that we see the way it got structured in the law as being on the employer.
Right, and they're pointing the finger and saying, that's your job. So thanks to you and Chuck Stoller, I'm all over this. Like 7 days a week, eating it and bleeding it. And I hate to give a plug because they're not a sponsor of the show, but the iPhone and this Droid stuff has made communication so much easier than it used to be. I just sent out a massive text to every employer that I had, and out of the 26 big groups that I insure, about 17 got back to me within 10 minutes of me sending out the blast.
Yeah. So the important message today is, over the last week or two, since the July 4th holiday announcement about a delay in ACA, the message we are getting out through Michael to your listeners and to our own clients is that the Affordable Care Act very much remains in effect.
Right.
And individuals are going to have insurance in 2014. The penalty on individuals has not been waived. In other words, if individuals do not have insurance in 2014, there are some exceptions for extremely low income and a couple of exceptions, but generally the rule is if you don't have health insurance coverage in 2014, you're going to owe a penalty on your tax return if you don't have insurance in 2014.
Right.
That rule is still in effect.
And then I had another self-employed individual ask me this morning. He goes, well, I'm a 1099 to everybody. I said, it doesn't matter. You're still going to you still file taxes. He goes, no, I don't. I take a loss. I said, do you have a 1040 EZ? I don't even know the term. I file a Schedule C because I'm an S Corp. But I said, no. Nobody is free from this. Just because you're a carpenter doesn't mean you don't have to get health insurance. And he was kind of mad. He's like, what are you talking about? I said, yes, you're a 24-year-old male. You have to get it. You don't have it through your parents, and you have to get it. So, a lot of people are just going to ignore it the first year, and good for the accountants because it'll make them now report this on their tax filing. Yeah,
it starts off as a very small penalty.
Pennies, but it's the point though.
The greater of $95 or 1% of your income, but it's still a penalty, and it grows larger. By 2016, I think it's a larger penalty. It's 2.5% of your income.
All right, so now let's go into the second part, the Defense of Marriage Act.
Sure.
Go ahead. That. Honestly, I hate to say it. I'm happily married, and it's male-female. I have nothing against gays, lesbians. All the power to them. If they love the other person, that's all I care about. I am a free spirit, open-minded person. I am not a hardcore axe grinder where I just want everyone else dead but us perfect. Good for them. It was a good ruling. I'm not opposed to Prop 8 in California, and it's finally a tax break they deserve.
Yes.
All right, so we can't take sides on this, but I don't like axe grinders who just naysay everything. And you know what? You got to just open your mind a little bit. Yep. So U.S. versus Windsor. Go ahead.
Yeah, just by way of background, back in 1996, Congress passed an act called the Defense of Marriage Act, DOMA,
right,
which limited the definition of marriage to spouses of the opposite sex. This meant for many purposes under the tax code, employee benefit plans, laws like ERISA, which protect retirement rights, it meant under those laws, anytime the word spouse was used, it only meant a spouse of the opposite sex. The net effect of this Supreme Court decision, it does not require states to adopt a rule recognizing same-sex marriage, but what it does do is say, if a state like Connecticut, which recognizes same-sex marriage,
correct,
if you're a same-sex couple in Connecticut, you now have the full benefits of the federal tax law and any rights you have under employee benefits plans that spouses have, for example, death benefit rights. It says in states that have recognized same-sex marriage, the federal laws, and we were looking at it, at least primarily initially, in terms of how those laws affect employee benefit plans. And I just mentioned, for example, spousal death benefit rights. Same-sex spouses in Connecticut will have the same death beneficiary rights under a 401k plan that a married couple of opposite sex have had.
Right, and also talk about my portion, the health insurance.
Yes.
They get that. Go ahead.
Yeah. Health insurance, if you covered a same-sex partner in Connecticut...
Domestic partner, we call it.
Okay, domestic partner.
Mm-hmm.
In Connecticut, the federal law imputed income to you for the value of the coverage offered to your domestic partner.
That's right.
Now, because the federal law is going to recognize same-sex domestic partners, there will no longer be income to the employee for covering his or her same-sex domestic partner or marriage partner. And
also another beautiful benefit which the employer didn't get, they get the tax credit now included in that double male, double female insurance premium. As long as they're paying a portion, which is 50% or more, the IRS would let them get a tax credit. Now that employer can say, you know what, I'm open-minded. If that person wants to live with this person, and I still offer benefits to my entire firm, I can't discriminate, so sure, we'll offer domestic partner. But now the employer can get the tax credit from the IRS on their contribution portion, and the employee can take the credit for their same opposite sex or same sex person. Before, they weren't allowed to do that.
Yes, exactly.
Right, which is beneficial. I mean, there's some parts of this law that the hardcores aren't going to like, but it does open up a more fair playing field, because Diana and I both take, even though it costs us a fortune, my insurance is like $1,800 a month, but, you know, my accountant would always take the tax credit.
Yes, and in the typical employer setting, normally health insurance is not taxable to employees when it's provided by an employer.
Right.
And what was taxable before this Supreme Court case came out was the portion of the premium that was allocated to your same-sex marriage partner.
Right.
Now, in states like Connecticut, the employee will not have a tax portion to pay just because they choose to cover their same-sex marriage partner. So the law, as you say, is somewhat leveling the playing field. And there are, just so you know, I can't give you the list, but the Supreme Court mentioned there are over 1,000 federal laws and programs that use the word spouse in one way or another. So people are just starting to touch the tip of the iceberg as to how this Supreme Court case will play out in the many federal laws that mention the word spouse.
Right on. All right, stay to the true to the time. It is now 1:38. Carmody and Torrance, LLP, 50 Leavenworth Street, Waterbury, Connecticut. How do people contact you, Mark, the guru, on this stuff?
I'll give out the firm.
Give out the firm phone number, and then they'll get voicemail for a week or so.
No. I'll give out my direct dial. 203-575-2618.
Okay.
That's my direct
Mark
dial.
F. Williams.
Yeah.
And it's, if you want to just Google them, it's www.carmody, C-A-R-M-O-D-Y, law, all one word, .com. And
Yes.
it is really the premier labor law firm in the area. And in this day and age, you have to know what you're doing. You can't have the insurance agent be accountable for everything. It's nice to have legal representation. So I sincerely appreciate your time. I definitely owe you lunch for this, for sure. I'll see you at Dottie's or one of the spots, maybe John Bale. And we'll have a tuna
I hope I
sandwich.
didn't confuse your listeners.
No. If that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to wake them up. I could just play music all the time, but then they're not learning anything. This Medicare and You show is about insurance. It's a hot topic. All right.
Yep.
I will talk to you later, Mark.
Thank you very much for your time.
One moment. Someone's trying to call in to talk to you.
Oh.
All right. Let's just give it a shot. Michael Regan, Medicare and You.
Oh, Michael?
Yes, sir.
On the last program you had, you mentioned a recent dental benefit for holders of QMB.
Oh, yeah. Hold on.
cards.
Let me get off with the attorney then. Let me just, I'll put you on hold. I'll get right back. I got that answer for you.
Okay.
All right. We're going to get off the phone with the labor law expert, Mark Williams. Thank you very much for your time, Mark. And
Thank you,
I will
Michael.
I'll see you out in the public arena.
Oh, yes.
All right.
Thanks.
God bless. Have
Bye-bye.
a great day. All right. I'll take that one. And then I know this guy's answer, and then we'll get off. Okay. You were the gentleman that had the 003 in front of his number on the silver card, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Did you call Daryl Willenbrock at the Agency on Aging, and did they run your number to see if you were dental eligible?
Yeah, they said no one ever even heard of this. No one knows anything.
Yeah, no. I had Christine Bianchi from the Staywell Center on, and my coworker, Tom, his family member has the silver card, and they got dental at the dental clinic at the Staywell. I mean, I literally have firsthand knowledge. It depends on your income limits. If you are dental eligible, they can tell you right over the phone by running your number. Did they not do that?
Yeah, they ran the card.
Okay.
And it had the prefix number that you mentioned.
Right. I know exactly what it is. I remember your phone call. Okay.
But they said no, there was no dental benefits on that card, and they said they never even heard of any dental benefits for QMB card holders.
All right, let me just give you, I hate to give a direct phone number on the air, but I know the answer because I sent someone there the other day. Do you live in Waterbury?
Yep.
And any access to transportation or no?
Yeah, I can.
You can get somewhere around somehow.
Yep.
Okay, 203, tell me when you're ready.
Yep.
756 8021. You're going to speak to the dental clinic. Give them your number. Tell them you got the Silver Connect card. Let them run it and make a dental appointment and get whatever you need done. It's included in the plan. I just had Mrs. So-and-so get it done.
Okay.
I really shouldn't be plugging a particular group because I have a great friend, Amit Sathyan, and his wife, Tulasi, that own a firm. But right now, the one that this particular person went to was the Staywell Center. So let me just plug where it went. It's 1302 South Main Street, 203-756-8021. Ask for the dental clinic. Give them your number and say, is my income limit eligible? If not, call me back at the office on my regular 757-6099 number, and I'll get you dental through do you have any insurance?
No.
You just have the QMB?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. During annual election period, you can buy a zero premium plan through me, through either United Healthcare, Connecticut, Anthem, one of the plans I sell. They're still zero, and then you can get yourself some dental for minimal, like almost $30 a month at best. So that might be another outlet. But let me try to help you first before I sell you something.
Okay.
All right, God bless. Have a great day.
Thanks.
Time for a commercial break. We'll be right back, plugging the sponsors, and see you in a couple minutes.